ADC from 2001 to 2004 when I worked on an MA and an MDiv. I came to ADC with a special interest in chaplaincy and was interested in becoming a chaplain. And my studies focused in that direction. And I worked for a while. I was doing CPE in the hospitals and at the Nova Scotia Hospital, and loved that work very much. But then my hearing became a problem. I had tumors on my brainstem, and so they were radiated in 2001 and then in 2004, and they were treated, but it also affected my hearing. So I began to lose my hearing while I was studying to be a chaplain. The job of listening, and I was losing my hearing, so that was a problem. And then somebody suggested to me, I think it was Barry Morrison at the college, that I look at chaplaincy from a different point of view. Rather than doing it, why don't I look at it in an academic form? And so that's when I thought about the MA, and in 2004 I did that work, and then began to think about continuing my studies, and I did a PhD in St. Andrews, Scotland. While I was there, an opportunity came up for me to do an internship, doctoral internship at the UN. So I went from rainy Scotland to hot and busy New York. I worked with a small unit there that are the counselors who support the UN workers in aid missions. And essentially it's very, very similar to the work of a chaplain. It's biopsychosocial spiritual support for the staff around the world. And I began then to link up with UN and began to work with training the counselors in a new way, and we did that in Thailand, in Bangkok, for a month, and I coordinated the training there, and that led to a job in Kabul in Afghanistan. So then I went there for a year and a half. I was there from 2008 to 2009, and that work was very challenging, but very rewarding. And after I came back from Afghanistan, opportunity opened up to work and found the Taylor Center for Chaplaincy and Spiritual Care, which was founded in memory of Charles Taylor, who founded CPE, Clinical Pastoral Education, the most significant training tool for chaplains in Canada, founded at the college. And so for a year and a half I worked at getting that started, and we worked at everything from the vision to the funding to the instructors and to recruiting students. And so I did that work for about a year and a half when I found out that I had 2 back surgeries and then a brain surgery in there. So I had to resign after that. The people I met at the college and people who supported me through good and through ill health is what has really allowed me to do and be what I am. And I had a supervisor for my MA thesis, Jonathan Wilson, and I wrote about embodiment. And as I talked about things with him, helped me have a new understanding of my own body that was changing very much, and God's hand in that. And then other professors I had, Barry Morrison being one of them, helped me come to terms with my new self and see God's hand in that. If you're considering ADC or ministry, the thing that comes to mind is that God works with whatever you give him. Even if it's a broken body or a broken spirit or a broken bank account, God can take that brokenness and make much. And he takes whatever we give him. And I came in wanting to be someone to listen, and even though I couldn't hear, I began to listen in other ways, and God made something of that. So give whatever you can, and take that step out in faith, and God will do the rest. It sounds rather cliche, but that was my experience. You don't have to have it all together and all perfect. Who knows where you'll end up with that? You might end up in the Secretariat of New York, or you might end up in a dust bowl in Afghanistan. I thought I would end up as a chaplain at the VG, and I seemed to go everywhere but there, and I ended up there too. But yeah, God can do awesome things with whatever we give Him. I'm deeply honored and touched by to receive this award, and what comes to mind is it's easy to honor somebody who's just graduating with a PhD and is all bright and fresh and shiny, or somebody who's doing an internship at the UN or whatever. It's easy to give recognition to those people, and it's harder. The people who are on long-term disability are not usually the people who are recognized, but the college has supported me and remained with me through the good and the bad. It sounds like I'm taking marriage vows, but I'm really deeply honored that the college is giving me this award while I'm at a more difficult stage of my life, and at a time when I'm on disability and seeking to find what's next for me in my life. So I thank ADC and all the professors who have supported me through the years and continue to support me. Yes, thank you.